So what the heck is going on with Trump's health, as apparently now even Fox News is addressing it? They say routine treatment. Trump's doctor says the president's neck rash spotted at Monday's Medal of Honor ceremony is from a prescribed preventative skin cream. Okay. Dr. Sean Barbarella said the redness will fade within weeks. So I guess we're going to be seeing Trump like this for the next, few weeks. Who knows? This is CNN. They say new rash on the right side of Donald Trump's neck is the result of a cream that he's using as, quote, preventative skin treatment. And people are certainly guessing what this is. And actually, this looks pretty bad. I can see it right there, and you guys can see it also. If you look at some of the comments of this stuff, people say, serious question, what could cause something like that? Someone writes, honestly, this looks like herpes simplex virus. Maybe, I don't know. Another person writes, you don't just start a preventative cream to prevent a rash you didn't have if you didn't have an issue. Good Lord. Okay. Another person writes, atopic dermatitis or eczema, one of the most common rashes. This is chronic condition that periodically causes red, itchy skin. Yeah, everyone's talking about this. If you guys have any experience with this stuff, please let me know. But this is something that we're talking about is Trump's health. There's always a concern. And I'll just say this, it doesn't look good. And then this is his neck, this hands. This is not Trump, this is someone else's face though. But this is stuff that we've seen it before in photos and public appearances. Also on Fox News, and I want to point this out because remember, they're talking weeks in terms of Trump's skin thing. Now they're saying like 4 to 6 weeks. That's why I want to show right there. See, Epic Fury could last 4 to 6 weeks. They keep changing the dates. So when they talk about Trump's health as being weeks, and then they talk about how long the war in Iran will be, I think first it was a couple weeks or easy. They use the word strategic strike. Now they're suddenly changing it to 4 to 6 weeks. This has just changed the last hour because we've been tracking this stuff live. And suddenly if they start talking, when they switch from weeks to months, it's bad. But already it's bad because they're extending the sort of expectations. They'll say stuff like, it'll go as long as it needs to go kind of stuff. This is also more regarding Trump's health. The White House stated the redness of the President Trump's neck was caused by the skin cream he uses. Okay. President Trump uses a very common cream on the right side of his neck, which is preventative skin care. President has been using this treatment for 1 week, and it is expected that the redness will continue for several weeks. And again, we're showing it here.
See that nice drape? When that comes down right now, you see a very, very deep hole. But in about a year and a half from now, you're going to see a very, very beautiful building. And there's your entrance to it right there. In fact, it looks so nice, I think I'll save money on the doors because it can't get more beautiful than that. I picked those drapes in my first term. I always like gold, but I think we can save a lot of money. I just saved curtains. But, and it'll be spectacular. It'll be the most beautiful ballroom. I believe it because I built many a ballroom. I believe it's going to be the most beautiful ballroom anywhere in the world. And when you hear all that hammering out there, you know why the First Lady is not thrilled exactly. She said, will the pile drivers ever stop? They go from 6 in the morning till 11:30 in the evening. Can you imagine? Here? You know what? To me, that's a beautiful sound. She doesn't like it. I love it. You know what? To me, other than here, because we're donating it, not a penny to the taxpayer. It'll be under budget, ahead of schedule. It'll be 400 million or less. Most people say 400 million or more. No, it'll be less. But when I hear that sound, that beautiful sound behind me, it means money, so I like it. But my wife isn't thrilled.
And it's so obvious here, like the dude just thinks about money and himself. You can see it with your own eyes. I just shake my head. This is also what he's been saying lately.
Long. He told the New York Times it was intended to last 4 to 5 weeks. He told the Daily Mail it could take 4 weeks or less. He told Axios it could go long, and he could take over the whole thing. He told ABC he has a beautiful plan, but did not lay it out. He told the New York Post it would go quickly, but there could be troops on the ground. He told Fox that he's using the Venezuela template. But Iran is not Venezuela, and it's apparently not Iraq either, according to Pete Exeth.
This is not Iraq. This is not endless. I was there for both. Our generation knows better, and so does this president. He called the last 20 years of nation-building wars dumb, and he's right. This is the opposite. This operation is a clear, devastating, decisive mission. Destroy the missile threat, destroy the Navy, no nukes.
Hexet there is trying to make it sound simple, sound clean.
This is ridiculous. I mean, you can see Trump's all over the map, right? And what he says. And then Hexet's all over the map as well. They just keep changing what they're saying. They're making up stuff as they go along. I'm just showing you guys who these people are. And then now we got a new poll coming in.
And President Trump is not ruling out sending them into Iran itself. He told the New York Post this, quote, "I don't have the yips with respect to boots on the ground." Like every president says, there will be no boots on the ground. I don't say it. I say probably don't need them, or if they were necessary. That's the end of the quote. If President Trump decides that U.S. boots on the ground in Iran are necessary, it would mark a major escalation of this war, and one that the American people are overwhelmingly opposed to. A CNN poll conducted this weekend finding that just 12% are in.
And that's a new poll there. So it says U.S. sending ground troops in Iran, favor 12%, oppose 60%, 28% don't know. So the American people are clearly against it, at least sending in troops. We looked at other poll, 40% are okay with what Trump is doing, which I think are totally whacked out. But we're not whacked out in the terms of like whether or not we want to send ground troops. We got to keep an eye on this stuff and to see how this plays out. And then Trump is talking about dinners now. No, seriously. He says, the White House Correspondents Association has asked me very nicely to be honorary at this year's dinner, a long and storied tradition. It began in 1924 under President Calvin Coolidge. I don't think he's ever done this thing before because this person was saying here, Trump announces he will attend the White House Correspondents' Dinner this year, his first time ever participating as president. Okay. And then Trump goes on to say, I am truly one of the greatest presidents in history of the country. What? Okay. Oh, he wants to hear the correspondents admit that. The GOAT, according to many, it will be my honor to accept this great invitation and work to make it greatest, hottest, and most spectacular dinner of any kind ever. What? How do you even read this stuff? Because it's just so stupid. There's Trump's health again. More people are talking about what's going on with his neck. And then you also have this. There's I don't call it an order, but we'll just say this. They're telling people to evacuate. This is from the Department of State. It says, the Secretary Rubio, Department of State, urges Americans to depart now from the countries below using available commercial transportation due to serious safety risks. And then the State Department, I guess they're doing like a hotline so you can call for information. I don't think they're going to help you, but they're calling, hotline. Security update for Americans in the Middle East. So these are all the countries, Bahrain, Egypt, Iran. You can read them all. It's basically everyone get out, essentially what they're saying. Unfortunately, it's probably going to be really ugly. Then this is Secretary Rubio talking about.
At the Department of State, our number one priority is the safety and the security of American citizens everywhere in the world. Now, with what's going on in the Middle East with Operation Epic Fury and the cowardly attacks that we're seeing from Iran against Gulf countries, I wanted to take this chance to speak directly to Americans who are in the Middle East about the work we are doing to try to keep you safe. So immediately following the beginning of this operation, at my direction, the State Department activated a 24/7 task force, surging personnel and resources necessary to help provide American citizens with up-to-the-minute safety and security information.
So I think it's a hotline. So they're not going to help you in terms of just fly you out. Because theoretically, instead of, focusing on transporting troops in, because they just talked about today they want to bring in more troops. And then even Rubio today is talking about we're going to, we haven't even hit the hardest yet. He said something to that effect. Now it's like, hey, we got a hotline if you need information. But basically, I think things are just, for frankly, you guys are going to get worse if they're saying for people to get out. And that's what's going on. And then now, if you look at the leadership, guy's got health problems. He's got brain problems, obviously. If you just look at the way he talks about the curtain thing, it's just weird. It's weird, whacked out, delusional. I did see this one. This is an interesting one. This, I guess, is the surfing cyber surgeon. So what do they say? And I want to hear you guys' thoughts on this one also. They say, for those of you wondering what the rash on Donald Trump's neck, let's go through it. Okay. Trump has a history of significant sun exposure over the years, which in turn increases the risk for precancerous lesions and skin cancer treatment. That might be reasonable. As a dermatologist and Mohs micrographic surgeon, we periodically prescribe topical chemotherapeutic agents to be used to rid of precancerous and skin cancer lesions. He likely has been treating with topical 5-fluorouracil or Imacoab cream for this exact reason. Both of these work in different ways, but the basics are that it uses the body's immune system to get rid of the lesions. The side effect of the medication is extreme skin irritation and ulceration. This is because the body is getting rid of these lesions by cellular lysis and destruction, and this is how it prevents cancer. So that may or may not be true. I just wanted to give you a different point of view on this stuff, and I want to hear your thoughts on this. Long story short, Trump's old. He's more interested about money than anything else, really. And I showed you guys in the last video, he sends his wife to the UN, which means they're out of people. And now they're telling you to evacuate out of the Middle East. That's what's going on. I'll see y'all in the next video.